Hello and welcome to MidnightSilverCrafters.com. My name's Steve and I'll be your host. Today in this video, we're going to make a Castaldo rubber cut mold.
This thing is hot. Woo, add some heat. Alright, all I'm going to do is I'm going to reach in here. Now you got to go careful with this stuff. You're dealing with something that's this hot. You got to be careful because it's hot. I mean, it's really hot.
Okay, so today we're going to make a mold off of this ring right here. This ring is just absolute crap, but that's what we're going to use for our model. All right. This ring was brought to me by one of my customers, and I told him that that it was just a bad model and it wasn't gonna it's just not a good model. But he absolutely insisted that I use this ring as the model. I told him I could make him a better ring. I told him I could carve him something out of wax. It would look a lot better than this, but he absolutely insisted that I use this ring. He said that his wife just loves this ring and that he wanted this ring made out of gold. And he asked me if I would do it for him, so I told him I would. All right, so what we're going to need 6 pieces of Castaldo gold label rubber, okay? All right, so what we're using the pre-cut rubber. All right, you can buy this on eBay. It's pretty cheap. You can just go to eBay and find it. It's not much money at all. All right, you're going to need a mold frame. So you can get these on eBay as well. They're real cheap. I think I paid $5 for this one, so they're not much money. So get you a mold frame. All right, I'm going to show you how to do this on the cheap. Okay, you're not going to need a vulcanizer, so you need to get 2 little 1/4-inch steel plates. So you absolutely do not need a vulcanizer to make these molds. So what we're going to do, we're going to put our rubber in, and then after we get our rubber all in there, we're going to take 4 heavy C-clamps, and we're going to clamp this down all the way until the metal plates are tied up against the mold frame. Then we're going to put it in our oven, in our regular household oven at 300 degrees for 45 minutes, and we're going to have a perfect mold.
So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our mold frame. We're going to put one of our steel plates on the bottom. All right, we're going to lay our mold frame right on the top of that. We're going to take our first piece of rubber and we're going to peel off the blue backing. All right, now there's a gold side, okay, and there's a blue side. All right, so we're going to peel this backing off. Now on our first piece down, we're going to leave this gold side right on there, and that's going to keep it from sticking to our steel plate that's on the bottom. So we're going to put one rubber in. All right, we're just going to drop it down in there. Now, when you do this, you need really clean hands. All right, make sure your hands are clean. All right, now on our second piece, we're just going to peel off. We're going to peel off both sides. We're going to peel off the blue, and we're going to peel off the gold. All right, we're peeling off both sides. Now, we're making a cut mold today. We're going to actually cut our model out of this. After we're done, we're going to cut our model out. This is not a separated mold, all right? This is a cut mold. All right, now, there's 2 sides. One has this little pattern on it, on your rubber, and the other side is just flat after you peel your backings off. It don't matter which side that you put down. It just really don't matter. So we're going to put our second piece in. All right, and now we're going to lay our second piece in there. All right. So, all right, there we go. All right, now we got 2 pieces in. Okay. Now what I'm using here, I got this little bolt. It's like a little screw. I guess it's like a machine screw, but it's got a tapered head on it. Okay, and I'm going to use this for my sprue former. You can buy little rods, little brass sprue cones, but I just use a screw because it does the same thing. So, but I got my little screw here with my tapered head on it, and I got my pattern here, my model, and I'm just going to lay this sprue cone in there. All right, and it's going to go right up against this frame. So my nozzle of my wax injector is going to go right into this. Okay. That's going to fit nicely on the end of my nozzle on my wax injector, and then I'm going to just lay that in, and I'm going to lay my ring in just like this. All right. So now we're going to take our third piece, and we're going to lay in our third piece. Now on our third piece, what we're going to do, we're going to cut out right around our sprue cone. We're going to cut out a little V shape. All right. So on our third piece, we're going to cut this V in, and this is going to just go right around our sprue cone, just a little bitty notch, just like that. Now save these little bits of rubber because you can use these. I'll show you that in a little bit later. All right now. So and then we're going to cut another one. This is going to be our fourth piece down. We're going to do the same thing. Okay, we're gonna just cut that notch right there, right in the middle, and that's gonna be right around that sprue cone. All right. So we're gonna cut these notches out of here. All right. So our third and fourth piece are gonna have 2 notches cut in them. All right. It really making these molds. They're dead simple to make. There's nothing to it, and it takes literally 5 minutes or less to make a mold. I mean, once you get the hang of it, it's dead simple. All right, now most people are going to tell you that you need a vulcanizer. Well, you absolutely do not need a vulcanizer to make these molds. We're going to put our model in. We're going to put all of our rubber in. And we're going to take these plates and we're just going to put them together like that, and we're going to clamp them with some heavy C-clamps. We're going to put it in our oven, in our regular household oven, at 300 to 350 degrees, and we're going to just leave it in there for 45 minutes, and we're going to have a perfect mold. All right, it's dead simple. You don't need a vulcanizer. So if you've been hesitating on making these molds because you don't have a vulcanizer, don't worry about it. I'm telling you, I've made hundreds of molds, and you don't need a vulcanizer. It's just ridiculous to think that you do, because you don't. And it's not gonna smoke up your house. You're not gonna smell a thing. You're not gonna even know it's in the oven. All right, so, this is the way to go. Now, these Castaldo molds, they really pick up super fine detail. All right, now, but you just got to learn a little bit about cutting it. Now, I'm going to take this mold right here, and after I take it out of the oven, we're going to cut it open, and I'm going to show you how to cut this mold. Now, this is a basic pattern right here. This pattern right here is pretty simple. But now I'm going to show you something real quick here. I got a lot of patterns. Now, I made every pattern in this box. All right. I made the patterns and everything. I make the molds, the patterns. I carve the wax, and I do all of it. Now, you see this ring right here? Now, this is an absolute difficult ring to make in a mold like this, but you can do it, and it's not impossible, but you got to have some skills on cutting this rubber. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut this rubber. After we make this in the oven and bring it out, we're going to cut the rubber, and we're going to cut our model out of there, and I'm going to show you how you cut this rubber. But when you get into something like this, now this is something right here. When you get a piece like that, you got to know what you're doing as far as cutting the mold. All right, I don't want to ramble. All right, so let's get back to this. Now I've got my notch cut in. All right, now we're going. This is our third piece going in. All right, we're going to lay it in. And we're just going to lay that in. That's our third piece going in. We're just going to lay that in. All right, now we're just going to lay our sprue cone right in here, right in that notch, and we're just going to kind of push that down a little bit. All right, that's our third piece going in. Now we're going to put our ring in. All right. And we're going to lay our ring in right like this, and we're going to just kind of push that down a little bit, and we're just going to kind of embed that down into that rubber. All right, just like that. All right. Actually, on this ring, I think I'm going to turn this over. It probably really doesn't matter, but I'm gonna turn this over, and I'm gonna stick his beak down in there. All right, now. All right, I'm gonna put his beak down in there. All right, now I got that ring right up against that sprue cone. All right, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take these little bits of rubber, and we're gonna peel off the backings. Oh, there went one on the floor. We're gonna peel the backings off, and we're gonna stick them down in here, okay, in that little cavity on the inside. We're just going to put a couple bits of rubber in there, and that's going to kind of help to fill that cavity. All right, now you don't have to do this, but it's a little bit, it's a little bit better if you do it like this. So we're going to peel these backings off. But you gotta have clean hands when you're working with this rubber. And we're gonna just lay this rubber down in there. All right, and we're just gonna kind of stick it down in there, and we're gonna kind of pack it down in there. Now it's all gonna vulcanize together. All right, so we're not gonna, worry about it, because it's when it vulcanizes, when it heats up and it starts vulcanizing. This rubber is just all going to bond together, and it's just going to be one big solid mass of rubber. And I'm just going to put these two bits in there. All right, it's not, critical that you put them in, but it helps if you got a thicker cavity. If you got a ring that's got a little bit of a thicker cavity on the inside here. Like if this shank was a thicker shank, that's a fairly thin shank on the back. But all right, now we're going to go ahead. Now we got our fourth piece going in. So we're just going to peel these backings. All right, now we got this cut. Now it's going to go right around our sprue cone. All right, now we're just going to push this down. Now when you're using this type of mold, this vulcanized Castaldo mold, you gotta have a pattern that's made out of metal. All right, you cannot use a soft pattern in a mold like this. If you're going to have a soft pattern, now I make a lot of my patterns out of Fimo clay. All right, I got a couple over here. I'll show you if I can find them. See if I can pull out some patterns right here, but these are all patterns I made out of Fimo clay. Now I make them out of Fimo clay, and they work fantastic. There's a bear claw earring, a big bezel, nice thick ring bezel. Here's another bezel. Here's a real awesome piece that I'm making. This is going to be a turtle. This is a turtle, but and then I got this piece. I could make a nice, put this on there. This piece will serve as a ring bezel or a bezel for a pendant, or I can put it on this turtle. All right, I use Fimo clay, and I make all my patterns. Now, you're not going to make a soft pattern in a mold like this, so don't even think about it. because the heat and the pressure is going to destroy your models. All right, so don't even think about it. Now, if you want to make a mold for a soft model like this Vimo clay, then you use the RTV silicone and you just pour it. I got different videos. Now watch my videos and you'll learn how to do all that. All right, so we're back to this. Now we got our fourth piece on there. Okay, all right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to peel off the both sides of our backing. But I'm telling you, it's dead simple. You can make these molds in a matter of minutes. You don't need anything. You put them in your oven. You're not even gonna know that they're in there. It's not gonna smoke. It's not gonna smell up your house. All right, now we got our this is our fourth piece, and this is our fifth piece right here. Gonna go in. We're just gonna lay that down. All right. Now that's 5 pieces of rubber. Now we're going to put our last piece of rubber on here. All right, and then after we get our last piece of rubber on there, this is our last piece of rubber. Now we're going to put this plate on here, and we're going to take our 4 C-clamps, and we're going to clamp these down. I'm not going to show you the C-clamps because it's self-explanatory. You just clamp it down until these plates go all the way against here. Then we're going to put it in the oven. You're not going to know what's in there. It's not going to hurt your oven. It's not going to smoke up the house or nothing else. You won't smell it. You won't even know what's in there. But you're going to leave it in there at 325 degrees for 45 minutes. And then we're going to take it out and bring it back out here. And I'm going to open it up and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to show you how to cut your pattern out of this mold. And we will have a Castaldo mold. It's dead simple. It's a vulcanized mold. You don't need a vulcanizer, and you can make these literally in minutes. I've got hundreds of them. I could show you. They're right over there on the shelf. They're stacked up. But now, if you need wax patterns, and if you're not set up to make your own wax patterns, and if you want to get some wax patterns, look on my website. I've got literally hundreds of wax patterns. I'm putting a lot on my website, okay? I'm adding more every day. So look on my website, midnightsilvercrafters.com, and you will find just a ton of wax patterns. And if you want to do some casting, you can do your own casting. I got the wax patterns on there. I try to make them real reasonable in price so that all my followers and all my subscribers to my channel, if they need some wax patterns, you can go there and you can get them at a reasonable price. All right, I'll be back in exactly 45 minutes. We got our mold here out of the oven. Now, you're going to have some rubber that's excess rubber. It's always going to do that, but you just come and just trim that right off. Get you a pair of scissors. And you just trim that right off. Alright, but now this mold's not going to be too bad to cut because it's not, the ring is not, very complex of a ring. But you can see that right here is my sprue. It's a little off-centered, but that's not going to hurt a thing. But you're going to need something to be able to pry this rubber back with. I got this little tool here clamped in my vise, and it's just got this sharp little hook on the end of it, and I'm just going to hook that and pull so that I can hook my mold on there and pull back against it. But the first thing you're going to do, you go right into the middle of your sprue cone. All right. Now you're going to need some good sharp blades. Okay, these are regular X-Acto blades. surgical steel blades are better. I usually use surgical blades, but I'm out of them at the moment, but I'm going to use these. Now these blades will work fine, okay, but you want good sharp blades, okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to start cutting right around the middle of this, and we're going to cut all the way around the middle. But we're going to make jagged cuts. We're not going to cut in a straight line. We're going to make jagged cuts. So we're going to come in here and we're going to make jagged cuts, okay? Like this. See? Back and forth like that. And we're going to go all the way around like that. All right? Now we're not cutting real deep, but the main thing is when you're doing this, you gotta be careful because it's real easy to slip. Okay, and when you slip, you're gonna cut yourself, and it's not good. So the main thing you want to do is be sure that you don't cut yourself when you do this. Okay, that's number one. Now, when you're cutting this rubber, you never want the tip of your blade, if you can help it, to go down and cut up against that metal, against your model or your sprue former, because that will absolutely ruin the tip of your blade, and then it's going to dull it just like that. So try not to get the tip of your blade up against this metal when you're cutting. But you're just going to come in here and you're going to start cutting, and you're going to have to go over it a couple times. Because this is extremely tough rubber. I mean, it's tough rubber. Even with a sharp knife, it's tough. It's some of the toughest rubber there is. Let's put it that way. Surgical blades are better. They're a lot more expensive, but they are better. Alright, but what you do is you get your cut started, and then you stick it on here, and you use this little tool to pull it back. So you hook your rubber in here and you pull it back. Your little tool will hold that rubber back for you. Okay. Now this takes some time to do this, so don't try to get in a great big hurry, because this is one of those things. It's going to take some patience, okay? But all you do is you just keep pulling that back, and you just little by little you start cutting right down the middle of this mold. You hook your rubber on there, pull it back, cut some. You just cut right around. They're going to cut right around the middle. But it does take patience, because it's super tough rubber. Okay, it's just really tough. Like I said, the main thing is do not cut your finger or your hands or your wrist, or you know, you gotta go real easy, because one slip, and a good slip, and you can cut yourself, and it's not good to do that. It's kind of hard to mess these up, but on something like this. But now you get a real intricate pattern with a whole lot of detail. That's a different story. See, I'm cutting right along this. Right along this line of this screw. But see, I'm pulling my blade away from that screw because I really don't want to get up against that screw and dull my blade, okay? But then you can get it down to where you can use your fingers . Use your fingers to hold it open once you get it cut most of the way. But you basically just follow that. You follow that screw right around the middle there. All right. Okay. Alright. Okay, we got that out of there. Now we're just going to cut right across the middle here. Just about got it. But now you don't always have to cut the mold completely into two sections, okay? Now, see, this is kind of going to be like sandwiched together, okay? Now that's fine. This mold does not have to be two separate pieces. In fact, it's better to have it this way, see, because it keeps it together, okay? And now I'm not going to cut this side right here the rest of the way. I'll cut just enough around here to get my model out of there, okay? And then I'm going to stop. But you want to make sure that you'll be able to pull that mold back and get your pattern out of there. Your wax pattern, after you shoot your wax, you got to be able to get that wax pattern out of that mold, all right? So I'm going to keep cutting in here, and always, you know, keep changing your blades, even though you think you just put a new blade in there, just cut a little bit. And keep changing your blades, because you want a super sharp blade. You don't want to try to do this with a dull blade, because the mold's not going to come out near as good if you're sitting there cutting with a dull blade, okay? Alright, just about got this thing cut, but like I said, get you some rubber and start cutting. And just, you know, it's one of those things, you can figure it out as you go, alright? And like I said, it's gonna work. You know, it's probably gonna be just fine. I mean, it's pretty hard to mess these things up. Because this rubber will go back together. Okay. But make sure you don't have your finger back there behind it and accidentally push through it and cut into your finger, because you don't want to do that. All right, now there it is. I got it out of there. See, but I got my mold. I still got two parts that are together. All right, but that's it. I mean, you make sure that this sprue channel is good and open so that your wax can flow in there. All right, I'm gonna just cut a little more on this, out of this piece right here, going up to my sprue. And then we're gonna shoot us a wax pattern out of this mold. And I'll bring it back, and we're gonna compare our wax pattern to our original model, and we're going to see what it looks like.
Well, there it is. It is an exact identical copy of our model. That was a terrible model to start with, but we have an exact 100% exact copy.
All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up on this video, but if you are new and today's your first time stopping by the channel, I'd just like to let you know that I teach on this channel. I teach lost wax casting. All these rings right here are mostly castings. I've made all these rings in the last 2 days. Rings. There's a rough casting. Still got the sprue on it. But this is a real nice ring. Here's the same ring buffed out and finished up. But these are all rings I made. Now these are castings, okay? I cut the stones and everything, but this is all my work. Here's a piece, just got this finished up. A little more buffing to do on this cross. But this is all the stuff that I teach I make all these, and I teach all this. And here's a model. This is a model I'm building. Okay, I got a little bit more. Now this is made out of pewter, but I teach the metal work. I teach everything related to jewelry from start to finish on this channel. So if you want to learn jewelry making or lost wax casting, it'd be great if you would subscribe to my channel. Here's a cool little cross ring. I'm still buffing this one out. It's got some compound on it, but I made this little wire cross here and soldered that on, and cut a little piece of turquoise. But if you want to learn any of this stuff, you know, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of my channel, and it would just be great. And if you do decide you want to subscribe, if you would just leave me a little note in the comment section. If you put down there, I subscribed, that would be awesome. It would really help me grow my channel. I'd really appreciate that. So yeah, well, it's been fun. My name's Steve, and I'll talk to you in the next video.